Hello and welcome back to Mega Man 2. I am haddowinc, and first off I'd like to apologise for the delay in this series. It's just this last bit was taking me so long to get, and if you notice, you won't hear any tapping or anything in the background this week because I am post-commentating. In the end I got so frustrated I was like, well, screw it, let's just play until we win and then commentate afterwards, because that means I can concentrate more on playing. And funnily enough, this actually ended up being rather a good run. But last time, we were going through the first three stages of Wily Castle, and now we're going to go through the remaining three. And this is me banging my head trying to get the ladder. Now this bit, you'll notice I haven't gone immediately for that life, because there's holes in the floors, which mean that you have to be very careful where you step. See, if I'd gone straight across, I'd have fallen into where that Met was. That's the little guy with the helmet, and he'd have probably given me a slap or something. So we're going to go back up here so we can get back on course. Of course we fall down the same hole, but we land there. I'm not sure why Mega Man seems to be just off climbing those ladders, but oh well. And now this bit also has the gaps, but after all these practices I've actually learnt where they are. So yeah, I'm sorry about the delay, but I must have had about 10 goes at this. I'll explain the bits that gave me particular trouble. It wasn't the final boss, it was actually the boss of this stage, which you'll see when we get to him. I mean, I didn't realise until I was editing this footage that how many deaths we had last time, but that was quite a lot, wasn't it? Alright, this is me trying to find the bit where you can go through the floor, because this we're trying to get the E-tank. We're using our number 1 and then moving on. Oh, the footage seems to be lagging. I'm not sure if that's just because I'm commentating over it or what. Shouldn't be lagging. Right, now we're at the halfway stage. Now the problem I was having with this is I'm very quick to drop off the ladders. Okay, this one, that was my first mistake. I was pressed one of the directional pads and Mega Man just kind of grabbed onto the ladder again. But yeah, like I was saying, I was getting on the top of the ladders and just letting go, and then I was falling straight down onto the spikes. The amount of times that happened is actually quite embarrassing. But in this run, it was a lot better. And I didn't get knocked onto the spikes by any of these guys either, because you have the 8-way saw blades, metal blades. So the first one is like enemies. Now this one is you have to jump up there because otherwise you won't make it through. So it's quite interesting how they change it up a bit each time, because this one is enemies and having to jump, and also they start the platform on the other side of the screen, so you actually have to at least kill one before you can get on the platform. So I do quite like the design. It's very very Mega Man, these paths, isn't it? So yes, it's quite weird talking without playing. Mostly because I don't have the excuse to stutter because I'm concentrating on a bit. But yeah, now this one, I'm sure there probably is a way to do it properly, but in all of my practices I just ended up using number 2. Number 2. So mature. But yeah, so we then move on. That's it for that. And now there's just a few of these guys. And this is where I realised, damn, I should have dropped, because he just stays there kind of bouncing in place. So I just reload the stage. And that was me very poorly trying to jump over, but luckily he gave some extra life. So that ceiling there is actually too low to jump over him. On this one you should be able to jump out the way, but I just didn't. Now this is where I was thinking, do I use an E-tank or not? And I decided against it. But this is the boss that causes trouble, because you have to be very efficient. Well, one, as you'll see, the video is flashing in and out, which is just something about the old emulation. and then I immediately wasted the first crash bomb, and then I can't see myself for ages. So this one was just... This is where on most of my practice ones of commentary, it would just became swears and me just giving up. So this one I don't even do it first time, but... And this is... because the thing is, you're meant to use your item 1 to get up the ledges, and then your crash bombs to actually kill the guys. But there's a very special way to do it, because I wanted to have crash bombs left over, because crash bombs are quite good against the next boss. But yeah, I died. So at this point you'll see that I've sped up the footage, but I forgot to speed up the audio. Later on I do speed up the audio, because there is another speed up bit, but I thought this is what I'd do anyway, except I'd have the Mega Man music, because I do like, if you've noticed, all the Mega Man music used in this is a remix they made for Smash Wii U, which I do like. But yeah, it's just a quick way of getting back to the boss. Also, just as a little thing to prove that, because I'm post-commentating, I didn't just segment the footage to make it look like I wasn't having as many attempts. Yeah, so this is my second attempt at the boss. Yeah, it's a bit annoying. Luckily, I think I was able to see more whilst I was recording. It's just in playback I can see even less. But what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get right up to the top of that bit. There we go. Because this is where I get it right, isn't it? Yeah. You get the crash bomb there, and it takes out both that wall and that position, which is really useful. And also you'll notice that the walls stay destroyed, so the one at the bottom is still gone. That was me trying to get out of the way of the shots and getting hit anyway. But E-Tank. So actually, this run goes pretty good, apart from me, you know, jumping into them or just getting hit by them a lot. Because the thing is, they start flashing right before they fire, but the thing is, they're still very, very accurate. So I think you're meant to jump after they fired, but that's a very small opening when you can't see much. And I fell down because I couldn't see. But yeah, all in all, I really don't like this boss. Like, it's an interesting boss. Like, I think design-wise, it's very interesting, but apart from that, it's just a bit annoying. They just kind of sit there just firing very accurately at you, and you have to try and do the platforming around. I mean, yeah, I appreciate it's different, but it doesn't make it much better. But yeah, that was one of the things I was having trouble with on my practice runs, and I kept on having to get back past that to practice the later bits, and the game was a bit annoying as well. So I only actually had one proper run before I decided, fuck it, let's record. Which hopefully will explain why it takes me about, well, you'll see. The final boss takes a few attempts. But this is something that I believe happens on every Mega Man game. I know it definitely happens in the first and I think the third, but I believe it is a part of Wily's castle each time. And oh, this is great. See how powerful the metal blades are against Metal Man. One hit. I mean, that's just great. But yeah, so you get the choice of which order to go through them then. I don't think there's any real reason behind this order, except I thought Airman was going to be one of the more difficult ones, so I thought I'd get him out of the way first, because regardless of how much damage you take from the boss, he gives you one of those power-up health restores. So I thought, restore my health if things go wrong. And this, yeah, Heat Man's one of the ones, because if he hits you with his charge, that's very difficult. Well, no, not very difficult. It just takes away a lot of damage. So now I think we're halfway through him. I forget who I go for next. I think I didn't know who I was going for next. But Heat Man, Woodman, we use Heat Man's weapon, because this is where one fully charged shot can win. Like that. But I do quite like going back over all the old bosses once you have all the weapons. It's quite quite interesting. Also, it shows how much you must have improved from going through it the first time, that you're able to take out all 8 in a row. Well, that's what's meant to show. I guess if you died during this bit, then it doesn't prove much, but... So that's Crash Man out the way. It's Quick Man. But I believe Quick Man's one. Yeah, you can't get him with metal blades. He puts up a little shield. But like we did last time, we're going to... You have to get his health down to around half, and then use your flash weapon. Well, your time stopper, as it's called. And then it's a rather anticlimactic finish whilst you just kind of stand there and watch him die. And now the last one, if I've been paying attention, is Bubble Man, who we all remember as going down pretty easily last time. He actually puts up a bit more of a fight this time, but not by much. So we'll go back to the main central hub, and you'll notice that there is now a 9th door at the top there, which is the boss of this stage, which is quite a difficult boss. But luckily he is quite weak to heat, so we're going to go through there and take care of him now. But this is the Wily Machine 2. And all his weapons are is just in one constant arc. And yeah, if you get one good shot of Heat Man, takes him out. Supposedly one good shot of the Crash Bombs takes out a second stage. But I was unable to get one good shot, so I had to... First off, I used an E-Tank, because I didn't want to die. Because I was on 0, I would have had to do all those bosses again, because I've got 1 life until game over. But then just metal blades, because they have direction to them, which makes them like infinitely useful. But yes, now that is stage 5 done, so can you believe it? We're actually on to stage 6. Which is actually quite eerie in its opening, because you fall down, all looks rather rocky and not like the rest of the facility, which was nice, metallic and robotic and things like that. This is all rocky, and you got the lava dropping from the ceiling, which you shouldn't let yourself get hit by, but I get hit by once or twice. But I mean, you're about to see all my failed attempts at this boss. Well, not all of them. I need to stop saying that before they actually happen. Where's the suspense, eh? But yeah, I believe these are just there to just weaken you a bit before the boss. Which it does. It takes off a good, say, quarter of health. But now it's Dr. Wily. And he's floating in midair. And what's this? Alien? I mean, I imagine the first time you were playing this game as a kid, like, this game came out obviously before the internet would give you spoilers and things like that. But you're like, oh my god! What? He's an alien? I mean, as far as bosses go, he's not that complicated. He just goes in a figure of 8, firing balls at your general direction, like the bosses before. Like, they fire the little balls, but the thing is, bumping into him does you a lot of damage, and each ball does a lot of damage. And I've sped it up here to twice speed, so we get through it. You don't have to watch too much of my non-successful attempts. But yeah, and also I found a bit, like, because of the space background kind of thing, I did find it a bit difficult to see his balls at times. Oh, phrasing. Oh wow, that health just went straight away, because I jumped into him on this take, that's why it went so badly. I jumped into him and it took away pretty much my entire health bar, which is just crazy. I mean, I still don't think I'm done. I think if I didn't get all those deaths on that stage, I think it was stage 3, that I got all the deaths before, in the last part, I think if I hadn't got all of those, this would have been an actual relatively good run. Now, how do I ruin this one? I think this one's just a bit unfortunate. He just manages to hit me a bunch of times. Because the whole idea is, if you get your jumping in sync, like I have for a while here, then you're actually quite good at avoiding him. The thing is, once he starts, yes, all it takes is a few to kill you, so it's a bit annoying. Yeah, I thought I'd keep all my attempts then. I did think of cutting some out, but like I said earlier, just just one long thing I much preferred, because I cut out a bit of previous parts, but the speed up with the music and it does seem to appeal more to me. But maybe it's just because I like listening to the music. This series does have really good music. This game in particular, like the Wily Stage 1 music and the Airman remix we used for the outro is really good. Now this one, I think that attempt was just unfortunate, I think, but that was a game over. And now things will return to normal speed. I wonder why. But yeah, I think the only good thing about getting the game over is it does top everything up again. So it means you get full bubbles and everything. But I mean, if we use anything but bubbles on the final boss, it actually restores his health. So I wasn't planning to show that off, but that is quite an interesting little fact about it. So I mean, if you were planning to do this without a game over, then you'd have to you'd have to be very conservative with your powers and stuff like that, especially the crash bombs, like I showed you, because that boss is the only one that boss with the wall panels is the only one that needs them, but it does need good use of them, otherwise you're a bit screwed. But yes, so this one I'm a bit slightly better at dodging. It does get slightly close though. It gets to if I'd got one more hit there, that'd have been me. But yes, and as you see, it's actually just Wily at a control panel, and you're actually just shooting at a kind of little electronic block, which is why it's the bubble lead that works, because you're short-circuiting it, which is quite clever. And because it's electronical, everything else can. I don't know why everything else powers it up, but. And now, yeah, Wily begs for forgiveness. And scene. Game done. I mean, 15 overall deaths, I don't think that's too bad, considering I never used to be very good at this game. I still wouldn't say I'm great, but now I've actually completed it, I could probably complete it again, kind of thing. It was a lot of fun. It was a bit. For my next, I'm going to do another game. It'll be September or October time. It starts possibly twice weekly, because it'll be a longer game, and it'll also be a game that I know really well, so that we don't have these delays with me trying to work out what I'm doing. I'm not saying that I won't do another unknown game or another Mega Man game even. I mean, Mega Man games in particular, it will definitely not be until Legacy Collection comes out on Steam. I'll probably do a video on that when it comes out, just showing off the stuff. But yeah, now we have the little ending cinematic, which is it's a bit odd. You walk through the different seasons before ending up in just very, very nice plain weather, almost. Almost, well, what do I do now? Kind of thing. Like, I could have just defeated Wily. I had that planned for the next few weeks. Guess I just need to go find something to do. Kind of idea. But yes, really enjoyed the game, really good fun. Really nice precision platforming. One or two of the things I don't like, but I've already explained those in kind of recording. So yeah, like I say, next series will be earliest starting September, latest starting October. In the meantime, there is always Battle Block Theatre that goes on this channel on a Wednesday. We're about 20 parts in, so we're like World 6 or something, so you got a good backlog to watch, and then stick with us every Wednesday as we play through to the end. Not sure how much post-game stuff we'll do, but we'll definitely complete the main story. Post-game, end-game stuff. There is also the Cynical Optimist podcast, which is on my personal channel, haddowinc. I do that with a long-time friend of mine. It's about gaming, TV and film. We do the news and then we'll discuss a certain topic, like we've done the Marvel Cinematic Universe, DC Universe, Doctor Who. We did E3 predictions, and we also did an after E3 explaining what happened. This week we're doing, well, last Friday I think we did 1985, next Friday we're doing Star Wars. We're doing 12 episodes of that across the summer, just as kind of a test of idea. So that's always worth checking out. Apart from that, there is Banjo-Tooie Abridged, which I write and am in on a channel called Abridged Big Knickers, which is the partner to this channel, which is always worth checking out. So I am doing videos. There will be videos to watch, and I can recommend all those series. But for now, we are done with the solo stuff until, well, just for a month or so. I'm probably going to record a few parts to have in reserve so that I don't end up with a situation where I'm behind again. So yes, I hope you've enjoyed this series. If you enjoyed it, do consider giving it a thumbs up. And now, it's the end. So see you later. Thanks. I've been haddowinc.